So, portals. Portals are a point of interest on all planets and moons in the No Man's Sky, and they are incredibly powerful features as they allow you to travel anywhere within any galaxy, including to within one jump of the centre as long as you have the correct coordinates. Now, I feature portal coordinates on my channel quite a lot, so I thought I'd create a video telling you absolutely everything you need to know about portals, including the fastest way to find them. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck in. So, as I said, portals are one of the many points of interest on a star system celestial body, and there will be exactly one of them on all planets and moons. Now that even includes dead planets in uncharted systems. They can be activated fairly easily, and they're usually used for travelling great distances incredibly quickly. You can even get from the edge of the galaxy to the centre of it in one jump. And if you stick around this video until the end, I'll give you the portal coordinates to the centre of any galaxy in the game. So, if you follow the Artemis path up to the storyline A Leap in the Dark, you will be taught the ability to activate a portal, and that doesn't even require you to have all 16 of the portal glyphs. Though, to use a portal to its full potential, you will need to have access to all of the 16 glyphs. Now, I won't go into the fastest way of acquiring all 16 of these glyphs in this video because I have a recently created video telling you how to do exactly that. I'll leave a link to that in the description below for you, so check it out after this one. But to put it simply, you can gather the 16 portal glyphs from traveller graves throughout the galaxy, and these can be found on the surface of planets, which is difficult, but it can be made easier by talking to a traveller on board regular space stations. So, these glyphs are symbols on a portal's wheel, and a series of 12 glyphs together when input into the portal form another portal's address. So, when you jump into the portal, you'll be taken to that specific address. Now here's a fun fact, with there being 16 different portal glyphs and each portal's address needing 12 glyphs, the portal network within No Man's Sky has a whopping 281 trillion, yes trillion, possible addresses, which is a fecking shitload, isn't it? Though, even with that many possible addresses, not all of the points in space, if you were to randomly dial 12 glyphs into the portal, you'll only have roughly 1 in 10 chance of finding an exact location match. Which is nuts. Right, so portals are very easily recognisable and they're all identical in appearance, no matter what planet or moon you find them on. They have a sort of cross-shaped platform on the ground which is flanked by some pretty cool floating pillars, and slap bang in the middle of them is a tall slab-like structure with an opening at the base, which is where you'll dive into the portal itself once coordinates have been input into it. On one side of the portal at the end of the ramp, a control panel is going to appear from the ground, allowing you to input these coordinates. You might find that sometimes these glyphs need charging up before you can use the portal, and each of the 16 glyphs will be represented by one of 16 buttons. Now, it's important to note that these 16 glyphs do not represent the glyphs you have found or the glyphs that you want to go to, because all 6 of them have to be charged regardless just to activate the portal. Now, these glyphs can be charged fairly easily with easily accessible resources, and they're charged differently depending on the glyph, and the number of resources that are used also vary as well. So, 4 of the 16 glyphs can be charged with earth elements, so cobalt, deuterium, salt, dihydrogen or ionized cobalt. Another 4 are charged with fuel elements, so carbon, condensed carbon or oxygen. Another 4 can be charged using catalyst elements, so sodium or sodium nitrate. And the final 4 glyphs can be charged with stellar elements, so copper, cadmium, emerald even, indium or activated copper. So basically, when it comes to finding and using portals, make sure you're stocked up on most of these resources in a decent quantity, so you're not having to faff around looking for them just to use the damn thing. Once a portal has been activated, you can then enter an address of 12 glyphs, which is going to take you to that specific location. And sometimes you may see it saying it's going to approximate that location if you've just randomly input 12 glyphs, but it will still allow you to travel through the portal nonetheless. And when you land, each time you jump through a portal, your starship should be parked up next to it, and you'll then be free to explore everything that system has to offer. Now, I've done many videos in the past on my channel giving you the portal coordinates of various No Man's Sky features, such as bases created by other players, S-class crashed ships, incredibly rare paradise planets, S-class multi-tools, and more. I have a full playlist of them, so you should definitely check those out, but first, let's talk about the quickest way you can actually find portals in the game. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, each planet and moon has exactly one portal on it, so if you were to wander around on foot looking for it, it would take you a damn long time at best, and at worst, You'd probably never find one before you actually gave up, but luckily there is a pretty simple way for you to find portals that shouldn't take you long at all. But just one tip quickly I have is that when you finally come across your first ever portal, you should definitely be creating a base computer at it and name it accordingly. That way, when you get an address you want to visit, you can instantly walk back to your portal base from Ellie Teleporter. I have various portal bases in multiple galaxies in case I want to do exactly that. So, how do you actually locate a portal in the first place? Well, the best and quickest way to find portals is by using an alien monolith, and thankfully, these are far easier to find than portals, and you can find alien monoliths one of two ways. The first way is by using a planetary chart, more specifically an alien cartography data chart. These are going to give you the locations to a couple of alien structures, but one of them is an alien monolith. So what you want to do is buy a few alien cartographic charts from the cartographer on any regular space station. I'd personally suggest you get at least 5 of these because you could end up finding ancient ruin instead, which is pretty useless when it comes to finding portals. So grab at least 5 and then plot a route. If the alien structure that is detected is an alien monolith, great. Go ahead and fly down to it, but if not, just repeat the previous steps until you find the alien monolith. Sometimes you may get a message stating you've already found a structure within the system, so you can either visit it and then try again, or just walk to a neighbouring system and then plotting another route. It's really up to you. The second method of finding an alien monolith is by using the scanner on your exocraft, but you will need to have the exocraft signal booster upgrade Tau installed to be able to scan for specific points of interest. So add that to your exocraft, and once you've done so, if you've got that installed, go ahead and jump on your exocraft and then scan for alien structures. Do this using the quick menu. It's a similar process to plotting routes via planetary charts. Here you will want to repeat the scanning step until you're given the location of an alien monolith, and once you are given the location to it, you can go ahead and travel right there. Now, finding portals sadly isn't as simple as locating and travelling to an alien monolith. Yes, it's true the monolith will give you the portal location, but first you have to complete a challenge at the monolith itself. And you will also need to give it an object depending on what type of dominant alien race is in the system you're currently in. So once you're at the monolith itself, you need to interact with it and select the option to locate a portal. You'll then need to give it either a Gek relic, a Korvax casing, or a Vakeen dagger from your inventory. Now, if you don't have the specific object, you'll probably want to save the location of the monolith, perhaps maybe using a base computer, and then go off and grab that specific object. Now, these 3 objects are pretty simple to get your hands on, and you can usually buy them from NPCs of the relevant alien species. So for example, if you go to a trading outpost or even perhaps talk to pilots on the space station and interact with them, you should be able to access their inventory and offer them to buy one of the objects for them. So once you have your hands on the correct object for your system, you can then go ahead right on back to that monolith. You can even get these from monoliths themselves as a reward. Anyway, when interacting with the monolith and giving it the object, you will then get a text and a couple of options to answer a question. If you answer incorrectly, the monolith will no longer give you the locations to a portal, so what you want to do here is reload an autosave just before you interact with the monolith, perhaps when you just jumped out of your ship. If you do that again and then select the correct option for the challenge, you'll then be given a second attempt to talk to the monolith when you can finally locate a portal. It's pretty simple, isn't it? So then all you have to do is just travel to the portal's location, and then don't forget to place a base computer down so you have instant access to it whenever you want. So now you know how to locate portals, what about having some portal addresses to visit some amazing places in the hugely vast universe that is No Man's Sky? I mean, well, it's quite simple really. If you are a Reddit user like myself and you want to visit the subreddits NMS Coordinate Exchange and NMS Glyph Exchange, which are totally full of other No Man's Sky players posting portal coordinates to amazing things like paradise planets, amazing player created bases, rare ships, rare creatures, rare multi-tools, amongst other things. So go ahead and visit that. There really is a boatload of stuff for you to see. And on Reddit is exactly where I found the glyphs to get you one jump away from the centre of any galaxy. Now these glyphs have been tried and tested in the first 10 galaxies in the game, and they work in every single one, so it's likely they're going to work in all of the galaxies in the game. So the coordinates you're going to need are eclipse, bird, tree, sunset, atlas, dragonfly, atlas, atlas, tree, atlas, atlas, and finally Yet another atlas, and then voila! You can now jump to the core of any galaxy in the game. Just make sure you switch into a ship that you don't mind breaking before you do so. Now, if for some reason those glyphs don't get you to one jump from the centre, which is highly unlikely by the way, then you could just input the first glyph, so the sunset, 12 times, and that should get you to within 5,000 light years away from the centre of any galaxy as well. Sorted. Now make sure you watch my playlist of amazing No Man's Sky locations so you can see some of the amazing things this game and other No Man's Sky players have to offer. And there you have it folks, there is absolutely everything that you need to know about portals in No Man's Sky. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You can also now become a channel member as well, where I'll be posting the coordinates to a whole bunch of super rare and unique items and places to visit. You'll also get some unique emojis and badges when leaving a comment, so what's not to love, right? And as always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.